It's your fault.
Hey.
Okay.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I will call the meeting, regular planning commission meeting for South Russell Village to order. Ruth, would you roll call, please?
James Place.
Here.
Mark Porter.
Here.
William Coons.
Here.
Elisa Budoff. Here. Greg Brew.
Here. First item is approval of the minutes from the planning commission meeting on July 25th, 2024. Are there any additions, corrections, or comments?
Move to approve.
Second. I'll let Ruth figure that one out. Roll call, please.
James Place.
Yes.
Mark Porter.
Yes.
William Coons.
Yes.
Elisa Budoff. Yes. Greg Brew.
Yes.
Okay. Agenda item number 1, PC case number 24-13. Ms. Renee Schott, owner of Meadowbrook Natural Wellness LLC, is seeking approval to operate a massage therapy business at the property located at 1188 Bell Road, Suite 101, owned by Kenneth and Marie Burke. Is anyone here for that? Okay, are you am I saying it right, Schott?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, well, welcome. If you could, just tell us about your business.
Sure, good evening, my name is Renee, and I'm a licensed massage therapist. Everybody hear me okay? I've been told I'm
You're good.
okay.
No, you're doing great.
Okay, yeah, I've been doing massage for 17 years now. I've owned this particular company, Meadowbrook, for 10. We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary this spring. I've had multiple people work for me over the past several years, and I feel like it's time to kind of change gears a little bit and go in a new direction. I'm back in school. I'm taking classes for a dual certification in health coaching and life coaching, which I hope to apply to my massage practice once I graduate. So yeah, for right now, I'm just solo and seeking approval to move into the lovely space that Ken has done here down the street.
Any questions from any of the members?
Is this business appointment only, or do you take walk-ins, or how does that work?
It's appointment only. You can call the old-fashioned way. You can book online. I do like to speak to my new clients before they come in, so instead of just booking online, there's a new client, I do like to talk to them and kind of get a feel for what they're trying to come in for. Are you in pain? What kind of pain? What's your pain level? Were you referred by anybody? I do get a lot of referrals from Precision Orthopedics down in Auburn. So I do work a lot with them. Primarily focus on people who have a lot of head and neck pain, a lot of lower back, sciatic, mobility issues. So most of the people that I see are coming in because they have some sort of pain or complaint. Not just relaxation. It's not a spa massage, although, I can do scrubs and, make it a little bit more cozy. But primarily it's very therapeutic. It's more of a medical practice.
The reason I ask is parking is at a premium. I saw your lease gives you a right to 2 spots, so you would have one and then your client would have the other. Is that how it would work?
Yes, and I do like to have about 30 to 45 minutes in between clients. It's something that I've always done, and then when the pandemic happened, we were really careful about not having people see each other, not having enough, too many people in one space, and I've just kind of kept the practice that way, and not nobody feels rushed. They can, they come in, we can have a nice little chat, what's going on today, how can I help you, where do you want to, what kind of goals you have, where do you want to be. And then when they leave, they can drink some water, we can talk about, what happened during the session, things they can work on in between, and then scheduling their next appointment. And so 30 to 45 minutes is usually pretty good, and then that gives the next person time to come in and repeat.
Dave, you're around the village a lot. I've never seen that parking lot more than half full of that particular.
No, I went in your building earlier this week. It's probably a little more than half full with tenants, I believe. I went upstairs and walked around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just never noticed there's a lot of cars. It seems like there's actually not a lot of cars in the parking lot. Because most of it's
Not an issue.
like solo, businesses, right? I mean, usually.
It appears that way.
Yeah.
I haven't met anybody in the building yet, but just looking at the, names of the business, it sounds like there's a couple counselors, there is another massage therapist in there. As far as the house, she works by herself. I think there's an attorney, and I'm not sure who's upstairs.
Yeah, it's a very well kept up building. I mean, it looks very nice.
Yeah, that's a nice product.
Mhm. I don't have any other
Any other
questions.
questions from anyone? I think it's a great fit over there.
Thank you. I hope so too. It's close to home, close to my daughter's preschool, so.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, that's great.
Move to approve?
Second.
Okay, motion second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
James Place?
Yes.
Mark Porter?
Yes.
William Coons?
Yes.
Elisa Rudolph? Yes. Greg Brooks?
Yes.
Welcome.
Welcome to the village.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you over there.
All the way from Newbury.
You're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, or you can just run out of here. It's up to you.
Whatever the rain says.
Yeah, I do have a little one home, so if I may be excused.
Of course.
Could I?
If I can leave some literature with you.
Sure.
You can read a little bit more about me.
Jim, could I have a minute while she passes?
Sure, absolutely.
Renee, I'm curious, why did you pick South Russell?
I live in Newbury, but we live on Bell First Street in Newbury. We're on Race, so it's very close to home. My daughter goes to preschool at the Sugar Valley Early Learning Center. So it would be nice to be close to her, and if I have to leave work and run and go get her, I'm that much closer. Her big sister just graduated high school, so there's 15 years between them, but I remember working in Twinsburg and downtown Cleveland when she went to school at Newbury, and she slipped it open, and I said, okay, I'll be there in an hour.
Yeah.
So I wanted something close to home, and it's such a beautiful area. I feel very safe and welcome here. Everybody has been super nice. I've had this particular business for 10 years. I started on East Washington in Bainbridge, and so the bulk of my clientele live here in South Russell, Chagrin Falls, Sullivan, So I'm currently in Newbury, but moving back this way is going to make a lot of people happy.
Well, that's great.
All right.
Just thank you. We'll leave it there. We'll check it out.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Renee.
Okay, next up on the agenda item number 2, PC case number 24-11. Mr. Brian Becker of Becker Signs Incorporated, applicant on behalf of Sharon Schmall of Leap Orthopedics, or Orthodontic. God, I keep saying orthopedics. I think in my brain. Orthodontics is seeking approval to change the previously approved color of her monument sign located at 1184 to 1186 Bell Road. And are you Mr. Becker?
I am Mr. Becker. Do you mind if I stay seated? My knees are
Oh,
feeling the weather.
we're not that formal. So just as a recap, this did come before Planning Commission previously. There was a sign design. I think we all liked the sign. There was an issue with the blue background color. And then really the main issue was, and something that honestly I don't know that we've dealt with before, but when our solicitor went over the code, we're limited to, apparently our signs are limited to 4 colors. And oddly enough, I was Googling, is white a color? And there's a big debate online about that. So,
It's the absence of all color.
well, yeah, there's people who would disagree, and there's, so it's my understanding, I think we had recommended maybe a black background, and you're coming back here with a gray background that would match the gray in the orthodontics.
Well, the grade, I mean, we're trying to match the roof.
Okay.
Building,
It's
and that roof is really hard to match, because it depends on what angle you're looking at, follow the sun, or, it looks anywhere from dark reddish gray to a light gray or silver. And so, we put the picture with the Pantone color there, so you can see it's pretty close to what the roof is. And, The question there then is, the orthodontics in the background are the same color, okay? And then you have white, black, blue, and green, okay? Which I guess you could add up to 5, but we're dealing with their official logos. The official logo of Alexandra is black, and the official logo of Elite is green, blue, and gray. And so, was that really violating it, or can we consider the logos as a color entity? Individually. They really would prefer to have the gray background, it's softer, looks a little nicer. And, kind of blends in with the area a little better too.
So, I'm trying to remember what we approved. So did we approve, what's the second choice color? So I've got,
Black, and black appears very, very harsh. None of them I submitted here.
okay, so the first choice is kind of a lighter gray. I would say light gray, but a lighter gray. And is that the same color as orthodontics on the sign?
Yes.
Okay. And then the second choice is, this is a black.
It's a charcoal.
Charcoal with and then this, is there there's kind of a different look associated with that, like more of a planked sign with,
Yeah, when it's that dark charcoal and you just put it there, it looks kind of like, 2001 model.
yeah. Oh, I like the planked look.
Right, so we just broke it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought the other issue was that the code specified the sign was supposed to be approximately the color or the colorway of the building,
Building features,
Which is-
yeah, what does it
which
say?
is kind of a tan
Yeah, they're going for the roof and not the side of the
and not the
building.
side of the building.
Yes.
The color of the sign shall be a component of the color of the building facade.
Facade.
The roof.
It's got white columns still, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the tan side of the look ugly.
Yeah.
Where's the facade?
The facade is the tan color. The siding.
Yeah.
The windows are dark.
I'd go with the windows, yeah,
Well,
kind of a gray.
And it's not in, because we had suggested black though, when they left.
That was because we were laboring under a strict 4-color interpretation.
Yeah.
Personally, I would be less concerned about the 5th color if the color on the surround is more in keeping with the building.
I like the idea of matching the roof though, because that's what really you see as you drive by, more so than the facade.
It's kind of a weird structure, yeah, you do have a roof.
So
Is the
it
roof
is,
tall?
I mean, it's very long and it's
Yeah.
one story.
Well, the overhang really covers up a good bit of it.
Yeah.
it does.
You're right.
And then the roof of the 2nd story in the back gives it a monolithic appearance.
I mean, I
Two choices.
like the planked one better, but the owner wants likes the other one better.
the owner likes the lighter gray background. They think it's got a softer look to it. And, yeah, I mean, as far as getting the plank appearance on the gray, that.
What's the name of the color? Panther tone black. I
And
think it's
then
a
one of the issues
lighter
with
black.
going with a light background on it is it kind of washes everything else out,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's everybody want to do?
Yeah.
Both of these are probably better than what we approved, to be honest with you.
If the gray matches the orthodontics gray and it's light, I think that would be preferable than black.
It looks
Or
like
even
she's
charcoal.
willing to adapt the color of her logo to match the color of the sign.
I'm sorry.
If from the pictures, it looks like orthodontics is going to mirror the color of the sign, whether it's the gray,
It does.
which is very considerate to be willing to do that.
I'm fine with the gray. I think it looks better than the black.
What do you guys think? Good?
I agree.
Okay,
Gray's better than black.
so this, what are we gonna call this one, just so we're,
Option one,
so,
or preferred, the
It's
preferred.
SW 2848 is the Pantone.
yeah, the Sherwin-Williams, 2848. So, okay, so is there a motion to, approve, well, I guess what the motion would be to modify our previous approval and approve the, Sherwin-Williams 2848 gray background.
Really quick, are we counting white as a color?
I would say no.
I think we're
I
not.
think we're not.
Okay, can you put that part of your motion?
Okay.
Because otherwise I think they would have to go to the BZA.
Okay. And so,
I-
so the motion would be to modify our previous approval and approve the sign, plan submitted that has the SW 2848, gray background. And we're making the determination that white is not included in the color limit.
I second.
Okay. Fine. Okay, any further discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
James Place?
Yes.
Mark Porter?
Yes.
William Coons?
Yes.
Elise Fuda?
Yes.
Greg Broom?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You do really nice work, by the way. I think in the last one, it's really very nice. They look nice.
There's a sidebar on this. We worked with them probably for 3 months to get them, just guys, find the color you like for the background. And we went around and around and around, and they said, well, let's go with the teal, because that's what our logo is.
Sorry we blew that up for you.
That's all right.
It's mostly Greg's fault, but well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
I'll go get that.
She's coming now.
It started again.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a good
Bye. You too.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for coming out.
Is this for me? Jesus.
I think that's is that my old
Oh, is that yours?
stuff?
I'm in your chair, so.
Yeah.
Okay, any old business?
Yes, I wanted to take a couple minutes just to talk about the parking. And what we're dealing with is, it's industrial parkway, but it's really not industrial much anymore. It's become a personal service area. So we had a meeting with the building committee this morning and talking about where we're gonna go and what we're gonna do. We have things to look into. It's gonna spend a lot of time with Dave, working with the landlords to get this squared away. But it's something, I think we need to get all the facts too, the land, because we're dealing with private property and what we can and cannot do. So I guess I'm asking, or saying, we're gonna need patience. In the meantime, we gave to Augie's when they were gonna have a restaurant serving on the outside of the building. I believe, did we give them a 6 month, or we're gonna look at a temporary situation? I don't recall, Ruth, I forgot to look it up ahead of time. Do you recall what we did with Augie's?
I think we put an expiration.
Well, we had a 1-year review, like they were
Okay.
gonna have it and we would review it in a year. But
Yeah.
I don't think, but
But they never
Never
did.
did it, no.
No, and he's not, I checked with him. Maybe we meet on September the 12th. Just think about with the Hawaiian guy, what could or could not be done there. I don't know, and I don't really want to say one way or the other. It's just something to think about. Because if we're going to wait until we get that parking squared away, it's going to take us some time. That's it.
Yeah,
I went back over there the other day because when those emails came,
started parked everywhere.
I started thinking about it again, and there are a number of solutions possible.
Yes.
First of all, the Hawaiian guy's building has a great deal more property than they're currently using. Now, it wouldn't be inexpensive, but it's entirely possible to expand the parking lot in the back. They would have to do some fill, and they would then have to pave or gravel it. But that's possible. Whether it's aesthetically pleasing or not, it's also possible to put another space or two in front of the building, perpendicular to the existing spaces. Or they have 4 facing the building, you could put 2 along the front of the building. It would chew up some of the grassy area, but it would give them 6 spaces, which one could argue should be more than adequate.
I'm trying to picture where you're,
Well,
because you've got the
you-
smoker, the 4 spots.
Well, you've got 4 spots facing the front of the building. And if you're looking at the building, on the 2 spots on the left, there's a big grassy area there. You could face in a couple of cars from the side driveway.
Yeah, he's talking about, like,
I don't know if that makes it any,
so they have the spots here, but you could correct this up and put parking there.
you could put, I don't know whether you can get 3, but you could certainly get 2.
Yeah,
Does the village line end here with that bottom line?
yes,
So
that's Bainbridge.
below it.
Yeah.
You're right, that building is much shorter than the other.
Well, both properties have vacant land behind them, behind what is currently approved as parking. So it's possible that both could do that as a solution.
To that alley, so narrow, I don't know about perpendicular parking.
What about like building setback?
No, I mean, my issue is, I'd like to, that's why I want the fire, like, we need to have fire lanes down there. Because when, people are parking, or supposed to park perpendicular against this building, this gets pretty narrow, and, somebody has a heart attack back here, and there's 20 cars parked, up against the building. I don't know, I worry that, like, we would have, think about all the stuff that we have going on back there. Very few parking spaces are marked. You can't find a fire lane anywhere back there. There's no parking signs or, and, I mean, any municipality would require that kind of stuff. Now, again, I think it's one of these, to the mayor's point, this has just evolved into something that it never was, and it's a hot spot. I mean, that's a hot area back there, and, I mean, all that whole industrial park, but, there's just a lot of in and out traffic, and.
The one thing that struck me reading all of this was that, first of all, I think the doctors' problems are more with their own building and their own tenants than they are with the adjacent building and the Hawaiian barbecue situation. Just reading it, and she admitted as much.
Yes.
Which building is the
This one.
fitness place in?
Well, their fitness,
Which building?
That's what they call it, CrossFit's
So
there.
CrossFit's back there.
right.
So,
Living Lanes here.
yeah. And OrthoSport is
Right
in,
here.
But they park, so the problem is all the CrossFit people kind of eat up these spots, right? When they come in, nobody's parking back here. This is a mess back here.
Right.
So they eat up all these spots. So Ortho's just kind of, trying to use these spots right in front with this little sidewalk, and they're trying to avoid actually their own parking lot. And that's what's causing, I think, the issue.
Right.
I think you're right.
So it seems to me, and plus there's, I think I mentioned this to Brady afterwards, but there's an element of NIMBYism here. Because I tried to go back through the old minutes and I couldn't find them all, but I think that the good doctors are the last in their building. And so they benefited from the village's willing to work with them on something less than standard parking, so to speak. It's a little unfair for them now to say that the parking needs to be enforced strictly to someone else. But that's kind of saying my piece. I'm personally kind of in favor of letting the Hawaiian guys do their thing if it's limited hours from 11 to 3 or 11 to 2, 11 to 2 would certainly cut the window.
The way I understand their system is set up, they're doing everything within their power to prevent backup and lines and lines. So, Mayor, if I understand, were you implying maybe giving them the opportunity to do it and then review it in a few months to see is it working, and can we do that? Because can we allow something and then take it back?
You know, the amount of time spent on this issue, because it's a tough one. I think we're holding back a business. On the other hand, a year ago, they were told, don't come asking for catering.
Take out.
Well, but they were originally asking, I went and watched that video, they were asking for dinner, carry out of the truck.
Yeah.
It was a little different. And I think Rachel expressed very well last time that she was here. They're doing it on days when they aren't as busy. Like, they're not gonna be having the catering people coming to pick up stuff. They do their catering mostly on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're looking to just do this Monday through Thursday during their slowest time to help do two things: spread goodwill to let them know, hey, we're really good, come hire us. And then also pick up a little bit of business during their slow time.
I mean, I thought we did make it kind of clear when we gave the approval that we did them a huge favor at the time. You know, that we weren't gonna allow the carry out, and that was a condition of it. And, I don't know, and then they even kind of said, well, no, we want to be a catering business, we want to be a catering business, and then they turn around and I get people want to expand their business, but, I don't know, I mean, I feel a little bad for them in the sense that I think this has brought to a head an issue that we probably should have addressed a while ago back there, and now it's kind of, you know, because you got the other business owner sending us pictures and not gone back there a half a dozen times. I'm like, ugh, this is not a good situation. I mean, even in the Google photo, there's somebody parked where it should be a fire lane, right on the industrial parkway.
Yeah.
So, again, I don't want to the merits of their application, I think it's gonna be a lot of traffic back there, and I have serious concerns about it. I still do. So, and it's just, if you had to pick one of the worst spots to have a carry-out popular food location in South Russell, that might be it. I mean, at the very back end of the industrial park. It's just such a bad spot. I just wish they had a little storefront or something, or cut a deal with the people up by the yogurt place. I don't know. But
Actually, they've had opportunities, it's my understanding, Mr. Freelander offered an opportunity for them. But the food industry is so heavily regulated, they have to jump through a lot of hoops and get other licenses. They can't just do it, they have to get licenses, and
it's just not worth it.
and it's not, it really isn't what they want. They really do want to be a catering business, they're just looking to supplement their slower days at lunch with this.
Yeah.
They're not trying to recreate what they had at the square at all. I know that.
Well,
I hear your concern on the parking, and
I mean, I don't know. I do feel bad that they're gonna be left in limbo, but to your point, Mayor, like, for a while, if we make them, you know, make the landlord do something with the parking, but on the flip side, I feel like it's hard to evaluate it without knowing how many spots there are and where the fire lane should be. And I mean, well, they haven't even come up with a plan yet, but it's like the fire prevention officer gone back there and just like looked at, like assessed the area.
Jim, I'm waiting till we get this layout.
Okay.
I was gonna go through it, but, because you can't make a decision, or you can't make a decision until we get this layout.
I guess, oh, sorry.
And we used to have, we were pretty adamant about parking spaces down in new businesses, but it kind of went south over the last few years. And I think if we search up in an attic, we could probably find the drawings, but we're gonna leave it to the tenant, landlords. You submit new drawings, new parking layout, by the square footage of the building, I think we can make kind of a decision what we want to do.
I guess, Dave, I mean, and again, it's, as a planning commission member, I would, you know, like to see the fire prevention officer maybe just go out there and not just look at this business, but look at the whole industrial park. I mean, maybe the entire right side of that industrial park should be painted as a fire lane. I don't know, you know what I mean?
I would be in touch with them, we'll go through the whole thing.
That was just my thought, was just go back there and say, hey, look at this holistically from a fire standpoint. What do you think? Because I don't think we've ever done.
You're right, and I think you've gone back there, and I don't know, when you went back there, it was like, you can see snowbanks, and then the heart attack at the far end, or the fire or whatever.
Yeah, they're parking in the grass. I mean, where are those people parking when there's snow back there? I mean,
You know, and I can see that the people that go to those exercise places, they're parking up. They don't want to get back in that parking lot, so they're up near Dr. Trax's office. So,
They're there to exercise.
yeah, they don't. I don't know, I hate to hold back the business, but we can't, this is gonna take some time to get this all figured out and do it right. And I think it's probably a good time, if we're going from industrial to personal services, let's get the facts and then we can make a decision.
Are they gonna ask for a carryout window next?
That would be,
that's what I'm worried about. I mean,
Well, in some ways, it would solve the problem. You don't have people parking, but they're driving through. So that,
There's no,
there's no,
it's not feasible.
it's
with
not
that structure.
feasible.
yeah.
well, if that's true, then there's no way they can run a takeout with more than like one customer at a time.
Well, that's what they're proposing.
I know.
And they're looking at only doing like 2 every 10 minutes,
Yeah.
on 10-minute slots. If the system, I don't know how those things all work. And they can't do delivery using, like they'd have to hire staff because they can't use DoorDash because it's no different than, it's pickup when you do DoorDash.
Well, it is, yeah.
Speaking of September 12th, does anybody else have an issue with that date, or you're all good? I
Thank
might
you.
have an issue.
Why do I?
Thank you.
Oh, you do it?
Yes.
Oh, good. I might have one, and I was gonna bring it up, but if I deal with one, it's okay.
All right.
Oh,
Good.
What shall we do?
I thought you could be without me, but maybe not. Not if we got 2 other people.
Can we?
You want to do 19th, a week later?
That's fine.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's good. I mean,
I got an issue on the 19th,
What, the 5th week earlier?
5th.
I mean, that's soon.
That's county fair time. You tied up with the fair.
No, it's the Thursday after Labor Day.
No, that's-
There's the week before.
Yeah, I guess that's actually, this meeting's kind of early, so that wouldn't be bad.
The 5th?
What do you think, Ruth?
Oh, I was just, I do know we have one applicant already, the gentleman who's moving into Peter Carey's building on East Washington now. I don't think he would mind being postponed.
Or earlier, the 5th? What's he doing? What kind of business?
He's the Safari guy that was gonna buy the bank.
Oh.
Is he out of town now?
Peter Bell.
He's out of town, yes, he's out of town for a month,
I'm
but
sorry.
he was
Yes.
Yes.
planning
Yeah,
on the
you probably
September 12th meeting, but.
Well, I can't miss that meeting. I gotta see this thing. This is, okay.
September 5th.
So I don't know if he can make an earlier meeting, I'm not sure.
Oh, so he was gonna have trouble on the 12th too?
No, he was planning on the 12th, but I think he was coming back shortly before
Do we-
that.
He was gonna,
What's going on the 11th? Is there something in the hall going on then to do it one
the
day
11th. 11th is good.
I could do the 11th,
I could do
want to do
the
the day early?
sure.
Good,
Mhm.
okay.
Thank
I
you.
make a motion that we, move the regularly scheduled planning commission meeting for September 12th to September 11th at 7:30 PM.
Second. Do we need a
Roll call? Yep. Sorry.
James Place?
Yes.
Mark Porter?
Yes.
William Coons?
Yes.
Elisa Budo?
Yes.
Ray Coontz?
Yes.
Okay, that was good.
Perfect.
Glad I remembered. Okay, any other old business?
How are we going to address the parking generally? Because you passed out the copies of the parking regulations in other communities. How do we want to address that?
Dave's got a good relationship with the landlords.
No, I'm talking about village-wide.
For the code.
What's
For
why?
the code,
Oh,
because I thought that's what,
I think-
I thought that was the purpose of handing the other copies out.
So we're just gonna talk about an amendment. I think, as we look at a lot of it, we're actually not that far off
No,
from most communities. So we need to maybe do a little bit more kind of delving into it and see what we really want to change. There might be some that are not the same, like for instance, usable fitness area and the square footage on that and that sort of thing. But other than that, we're really pretty close to a lot of what the other communities are actually doing. So I think maybe once we get this kind of squared away, we can then take a better look at the actual regulations for all of the business districts. And see if we really need to make some tweaks and changes.
All right.
I mean, 30 years ago, you were talking industrial parkway was.
Got bought out of a receivership.
Yeah.
Remember that whole thing? I mean, that was the best deal in the world. He bought that whole thing for very inexpensive. But, hey, to his credit, he did it right.
yeah, it's,
You could have put in
we've
more
only had one
parking.
complaint, Jim. We've only had one complaint about parking in 35 years that I know down there. And that's just recently.
Yeah.
Let's get it all laid out and we'll make a good decision over there for ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other old business? Any new business? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Okay, we're adjourned, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you.
And Dave. And Brian.
I've been in my bed every night. It just has been a very warm bed. It'll be my air conditioner. I just had to get a new furnace air conditioner. And now I have to get
It's regular, right?
Yeah.
So I heard over the weekend, DCL's been delayed to start school 4 days because of.
I